Hello. I had a request if I could break down this chair's wobbling. Why is that? If I could break down back on the funny back at the Funny Farm from Motörhead's 1983 album, Another Perfect Day, the only one they did with Robbo. So I'm gonna try and have a look at that. The caveat being this has been one of the hardest covers for me to do. It's quite depressing. I used to do it back in my early 20s long ago. And I never had any problems with it at all. And this, for some reason, I found it really difficult. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have, it's a guy I've spoken of before. I'm going to have his video up. He covers it. He is Tetsu Wop. Tetsu Wop. Oh, Tetsu is metal in Japanese. It's interesting. I don't know if that means anything. Anyway, Tetsu Wop, because he does a close-up. He covers loads of stuff I've spoken before. He's really good. And I can just see his hand. He must have the most incredible memory because he does all the solos and everything. He's playing on guitar, so I'll put a link into that video. But I'll stop and start it and just break it down at least into components, all right? And also I'll put a link into. I just did a search on it, and this like metal band, but looks like they did it maybe under lockdown. They're playing in different rooms. They did a cover of it, and it's really good. And the vocalist, it's one of the best. Like normally when they do Motörhead and they sing things like that, you know, Sepultura type stuff, but this guy's really got the gravel and the growl, so I'll stick a link to that as well, because in my humble opinion it was really good. Anyway, right, hang on a minute, top notch or something he says. Let's have a look. Okay. Top notch. Okay, so what we're to make of this, sorry, I use a noisy amplifier. What we're to make of this intro. So as every reviewer of the album seemed to love to point out, it was similar to Ace of Spades, but not similar also. So it's a 7th fret A string and a 5th fret, but also for passing note. But mainly it's got that sort of, it's that very staccato. And it's got that, so you could try that run up if you're just starting out with a downstroke. That's almost a hammer on the second downstroke, upstroke, and then hammer on that note, which is not playing, it's just that, you know, the old Jaws. Of a lot of Motörhead, there's that little split second where it goes out and it comes back in again. I don't know how to explain it. There, just a little. See if we can slow it down a bit, but that's one of the weird things about Motörhead. It's like they always say "cool before you can walk" and all this thing, but you can't actually slow down a lot of Motörhead. It wasn't designed to be slowed down. In fact, when I've heard live covers, live versions of Motörhead playing this with Robbo, like King Biscuit Flower Hour. It has to be said, when they start, I mean, Robbo was sort of all over the place anyway, and when they started it, quite often they kind of went out. I could really see like Lemmy and Filthy kind of trying to keep locked in. So it's easy to go out of time with this one. It's slightly off the beat. Then when it kicks in, it's just a drop down, 5th fret on the A, 5th fret on the E, and back to it. That little that little, just as I say, that split second timing thing. So just I do 2 downward stabs. And that's what it is during the chorus as well. It's oh god, how he sang and played this at the same time I will never know. It's gonna rest. Spring unwinded in my chest, I don't know which is best. I hear you talking, but the words are kind of strange. One of us is crazy and the other one's insane. Stay calm, don't be alarmed. So it's that for the, well, stay calm, don't be alarmed bit. This is where I need to play along to Matey again, because I start to lose the timing here as well. Let's just go up to the end of the chorus. Back on the Danny Founder. Should skip that longer, shouldn't I? A bit off there. Right, so it's been work there. So again, it's your 5th fret on your A and your E string. So it's 3rd fret, my bottom E string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, dropping back down to the 3rd fret. So, stay calm, I'll be loud. As I said already, I don't know how he sung and played at the same time, but back on the funny time. So Rob was doing a lot of guitar work over this. He does some riff over it. It sounds like it's, the bass might sound it's doing more than it is, but it just holds the riff down. Then sort of into the second verse, which is obviously the same. Don't understand why everyone is in disguise. I gotta stay right now, I can't stay in no more. But I'm afraid to try in case I lock the door. Stay calm, don't be alarmed. It's just another day, back on the funny farm. Okay, solo section. Let's move Matey along to where he rips into it. Nice bass thing. Right, so you got, so for the solo, underneath the solo, Lemmy's doing a sort of variation of the 4-chord box. In this case, we've got on the E, down to the D, 5th fret on the D, 7th fret on the D, 5th fret, 7th fret on the A, 5th fret on the A, 5th fret on the D, 7th fret on the D. This is where, I mean, for the rest of the song, it's so precise I don't think he had much he had much room for leeway, but this is one probably where Lemmy could have done his chords and stuff with his open note, you know, his drone string thing. So I don't do chords on the top two strings, all that sort of thing. Big variations on the theme if you stick with single note stuff just to make it easier. And then it stopped. Then come back in. Let's just go. Keep going right to that little. They do a run up at the end, which I struggle mightily with. And then again, the solo bit again. And here we go. Oh no, he's still doing the solo. You like the solos, Robert, didn't you? Jeez. Oh, here it is. Lost it a bit there because I can't really hear what was. I was following his hands more than so I should get some fancy studio, shouldn't I? Do split screen stuff. Anyway, so yeah, right. And then when he goes in, he does what's called a chromatic run up. Chromatic is every note played. So he starts on the E, and on the 5th fret here, let's stay playing it all on the D string. He's half timing it and then, I don't know, quarter timing it, or they are. So first of all, it's change, change, change. At the end there. Let's look at this one more time, this chromatic thing. Bar strumming. Then when you get to the 10th fret, it's even quicker. They sort of just basically slide off the fretboard. So the two markers, if you're theory minded or you know the notes, it's on the G and on the C. They speed up. First of all, it's, or was it double? I said half time, maybe it's double time. I'm rubbish on things like that. Last time. And then here. And then that. I think Robbo just does the final chords, Lemmy just strums the E. And that's basically the song. As I said there, I tried to break it down best as I could. It's quite depressing for me going back to that one after like, man, over 20 years. So I had it, like I say, at the beginning I had it pretty well nailed, and this time I was like, shit, this is really difficult. But I've broken it down there, and it's that what I've shown is correct. And I'll put links into Tetsu. What's his Tetsu K-pop or something he called himself? I can't remember now. Oh, but his channel is awesome. Big fan. Tetsu Wop. That's it. And also that it's kind of metal cover I found, which I really liked. As always, any questions or anything else, hit me up in the comments. And cheers.